today is successional sowing. Now you'll hear this quite a bit and you might be wondering, what on earth does successional sowing mean? You can do successional sowing for beans, peas, especially peas. You can do it for lettuce, you can do it for radish, spring onions. Basically all it means is that throughout the growing season you will sow some seeds, and then say at the beginning of March for example, and then at the beginning of April then you'll sow a few more seeds, and then at the beginning of May then you'll sow a few more, and keep going like that all the way throughout the growing season. That way you can elongate the time that you will be harvesting that specific produce. Because if you look at radishes for example, radishes grow really quite quickly during the summer months, within about 3 to 6 weeks if it's really, really hot outside. If it's cooler then they take a little bit longer. But once they're ready, they will then go past being ready quite quickly. So if you just do one sowing of radish and you sow all your seeds, you won't be able to eat all of them in one go. So if you sow a short row 1 month and then the following month another sow, and by the time you've harvested all of the first months, the next months will be ready. So that's basically what successional sowing is you sow them at regular intervals throughout the growing season. So what I'm going to show you today are some lettuce that I sowed about a month ago. I'm going to transfer them, the seedlings, into this big trough here, and then once I've done that I will then sow some more seeds. So when the lettuce in here has finished, I'll have some more lettuce that I can put into here, and then I'll have more lettuce going throughout the season. So I'll keep doing this. So first of all, let me show you this. It's actually gone a little bit leggy because it has been sitting on, and it's gone a bit droopy because it's incredibly hot in here. It's been sitting on a sunny windowsill inside the house for quite a while, and it's just a mixture of salad leaves. I like growing salad leaves because rather than the big lettuces, because I like to pick the individual leaves, and I just think it makes the lettuce, a lettuce salad or any salad, look much nicer because you've got different colours, different shades, different shapes of leaves and different flavours as well. So this has been growing for about a month, and as I say, it is a little bit droopy at the moment because I've only had it in here for 5 minutes and it's so hot. So I'm going to move that into this trough here. This is just a normal plastic trough. It doesn't have to go into a trough. If you've got a round pot, you can put it in there. Just make sure that you've got holes in the bottom, drainage holes in the bottom. All I've put in here is just some multi-purpose compost. It's not particularly deep. It's about 2 inches deep, because lettuce roots grow out, they don't tend to grow down very far, so you don't need to make sure that it's really, really deep. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lettuce out of here, and it should hopefully come out nice and easily. Hopefully you can see on the bottom here there's a load of roots here, so it's been growing very happily in here. All I'm going to do is to break it up into chunks. I'm not going to pick them off individually because that would be silly and that would take forever. All I'm going to do is just to take a little section, and there's most probably about 5 or 6 plants in each one. And when I transplant these into the soil, I want to sow them to plant them deep, which basically means plant these seedlings up to the very first leaf. So all I'm going to do is I'll start at one end, I'll just dig a little hole with my hand, and then I'll get all of these and just pop them in, and then I will just excuse me, I will just then bring the soil back round and just firm it into place. You don't need to spread these out a huge amount. Leave an inch, inch and a half between each clump of lettuce seedlings, and they will be absolutely fine. So I will carry on doing this, and when I've sown all these seedlings, then I will come back and I will show you. So here are all the seedlings that I've put in. They do look very, very droopy, but then they were quite leggy when I put them in. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to give them a really good water. You can put these straight outside, but I'm not going to, not quite yet anyway. I'm just going to put them in the greenhouse so that they can just grow a little bit more and just get used to the outside temperature. If I do put them outside, the chickens will eat them. If you are going to put them straight outside, then make sure that you protect them from slugs and snails and any other animals, birds that might eat them. So I'll just leave these guys in here just for most probably about a week, and the water that they drink now will make them pop up, and they look a bit sad at the moment, but give them a couple of hours and then we'll probably be okay. So these are going to be ready, and hopefully I'll start to harvest these maybe in about a month's time. But these are not going to last me throughout, so I'm going to sow some more seeds so that when these have finished I'll have some more lettuce to sow. So let me show you which ones I'm going to sow next. Now here I've got 5 different varieties of lettuce. If you just want to stick to one variety of lettuce, then by all means feel free to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sow a few of each of these in this little pot here, the same pot that I sowed the other seeds. But because I am having this now in the greenhouse rather than on the windowsill at home, I've had to make some little drainage holes in the bottom. If I had drainage holes in the bottom when it was sitting on the windowsill, I would have had water everywhere. That wouldn't have been good. So I'm going to sow just a few of each of these, and what I've got here is I've got some tatsoi, which is lovely, really nice, some rocket, some landcress, some Arctic king lettuce, and also some other lettuce called tantan. So I'm just going to sow a few seeds of each on this little bed of compost. All I've got in here is just some multi-purpose compost. I'm just going to give it a good water, and then I'll start to sow my seeds. So I've just given this compost a little water. There is an awful lot of water in here, I have to admit, because I've been sowing lots of seeds. So I'll just empty the excess out. Now I'm going to sow a few of each of the different lettuce seeds and other ones because I want to. If you only want to sow one variety of lettuce in one pot, you know, or if you want to sow a couple of varieties but you want to keep them separate, then by all means feel free. So I'm just going to sow a few of each, and in a month's time when I sow some more I will repeat the same process. So these are the seeds of the landcress. They're very tiny little seeds. So make sure your fingers are dry, because if you have damp fingers touching seeds, they'll stick to your fingers and they won't go on the soil. So just take the pinch between your finger and your thumb, and then just move your finger and thumb backwards and forwards, and your seeds will fall out. You'll need to move your hand round the soil like this. The next one I am going to sow are the tatsoi. Now you can let your tatsoi, if you wanted to sow it on its own, to get to the big plants, but I just want to harvest the leaves as and when I need them. So they're little round balls. all of varying colours. So again, I'll just sprinkle those on. Now they will all germinate at slightly a different time to each other, but just harvest out or prick out the ones that are ready and just transplant them, and then just make sure that you're very, very careful and you don't disturb the soil so that any others can come through. This is the Arctic lettuce, lovely little white seeds there. But having a nice variety of lettuce seeds and therefore lettuces just makes a salad look much more appetizing. You've got the different textures, you've got the different colours, you've got the different flavours of them. This is rocket. There are the little rocket seeds. I am, as you can see, only sowing a few of each because they will get quite big. And then the last one I'm going to sow is some more lettuce seeds, and this is Tantum. And they look very similar to the Arctic ones. So you can see the same shape and practically the same colour. So I've just sprinkled those on as well. Try and sprinkle them on as evenly as you can. Once you've put all your seeds on the wet compost, then just very carefully and gently cover the seeds with some soil. You don't need much. It needs to be about 1/2 centimetre deep, and just gently smooth it around. Don't pat it down. If you pat it down, you might do it too hard and the little seedlings won't be able to grow through. So that's my little lettuce. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a label in saying that it's mixed lettuce, and then I'll pop it in the greenhouse and I'll just keep an eye on it and maybe water it every couple of days. Right, so that's the next lot of lettuce seeds sown. I'll put these in the greenhouse next to the trough of the first lot of lettuce that I transplanted, and hopefully in about a week's time these should start popping through the soil. They shouldn't take too long. The rocket doesn't take very long to grow through, and the lettuce leaves tend to be quite quick as well. So I will check on them every single day just to make sure that they don't need any watering, because it can get quite warm in the greenhouse even in March. So yes, that's these ones. And then when these get bigger and I prick them out, then I'll start another lot, and I'll just keep going on like that all throughout the growing season. Well, I hope you found what I've shown you useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.